Welcome to Baby Daddies and Baby Mamas Controversy. I'm Jamie and I'm your host. I provided a platform called Baby Daddies and Baby Mamas Controversy to have a space for you guys to know what it's like to be a baby daddy and a baby mama. The whole purpose of this is to have people come onto the channel, you tell me about how it is, or your side, or what you feel like you ain't get to say, and all that other stuff. But for real, the main purpose of this whole thing is just so people know what they getting into. Really, people be starting stuff and really don't know what they getting into. So let's get into it. Fuck him, you don't die for real. Low key, you clown for real. He don't do for his gas for real. He stay out of town for real. When he doing his raps, he lying. He doing shows, no time to kid. I love them deep, they turn their back on me. Them sounds for real. Right now you get a check, they was procrastinating. I stay around killers, I stay around robbers, they keeping me motivated. My brother was dropping me out with my mix, you know I'm intoxicated. Alright, we're live, straight on the Baby Daddies and Baby Mamas Controversy. I'm here with Ryshe. So Ryshe, how do you feel today?
I'm cool for real, right now.
I feel that.
This morning I had a rough start, but I'm cool right now.
I understand. So the whole purpose of this whole TV show is to understand where baby mamas and baby daddies lie at in their lives and see if we can change how it is for most baby daddies and baby mamas so we can have a better co-parenting situation, or maybe even fix a situation that didn't need to be broken in the first place. So we're going to ask a couple of questions and see where we go with that. So the first question that I'm going to ask, why is it that you guys break up? Why did you guys didn't see that it was a fitting situation or relationship for you guys to stay together?
Okay. So first I want to start off by saying we are the same sign. I would never recommend two of the same sign to, you feel me? That's just off top.
Understood.
That's like a red flag, because even though y'all might not act alike, y'all got too many similar ways. Even if y'all not like got the same personality, it's like too much shit in common. That's definitely a possibility. And y'all just gonna clash heads. Like some people can make it work for real, but some people can't. I guess it depends on the sign, because I've seen other people do it successfully, but Cancer on Cancer, I would never recommend. Somebody gonna go to jail.
I feel that.
Somebody's gonna go to jail.
I think the best signs I've seen together would probably be Taurus on Taurus, or if not Taurus on Taurus, I'll give Virgo to Virgo.
See, I never witnessed that, but I could see how Taurus on Taurus could work. I could definitely see.
All right, so let me ask you this question: do you see where you guys could probably fit into like a co-parenting situation for where you guys could make it work, for where you guys can walk up to each other and be more like friends? Or if not, why not?
So honestly, we do have times where we are like that, but it's not always like that, because other people's personal interests, conflict with each other. Like me, my interest is solely on co-parenting. I feel like he be trying to get his family back sometimes, and it's like, chill. Like that's when things start getting out of just basically focusing on the kid. So if he could focus on just the kid and stop worrying about getting his family back, we would be able to co-parent completely good. You know what I'm saying? And even if he's not trying to get his family back, he got to stop with anything other than co-parenting.
I understand. So when you say he need to focus more on just the kid, would you say that the relationship is technically a dud? Like, just let it be?
Yes.
It's a dud.
It's dead. It's no rekindling. It's no, in my opinion, from my perspective, just off of what, you know what I'm saying, then transpired.
I understand. So let me also ask this question: do you feel like they have taken it to the next level for where that's why it became a dud? And if so, do you mind explaining what he did that caused it to be a dud? Yeah.
So it's a couple things. It's really a couple things for real. We could start with before we even broke up, literally. For some reason, well, I'm not going to say for some reason because I know why, but he could not, he could not get my ex out of his head. While I was pregnant, he was trying to tell me that that's probably my ex-baby, but it's like, I know you don't believe that, because if you truly believe that, I said we can go half on the what's the paternity test that you get while you're still pregnant?
I know
It's like a rat. It's like a
test.
yeah. We could do that before we even get to this point.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I'll have my half, you can have your half, or if you care that much about it, then just pay the whole band. Like, you feel me?
Mm-hmm.
I know what I was doing. I don't have no doubt in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
But for him, that was like really throwing him off the whole time, and it was just like, okay, like, how are you supposed to be worried about me and what's inside my stomach, but you worry about the last nigga that's not here, and we live together. We live together. It's not like, oh, you don't know what I'm doing when da-da-da-da. I literally go to work and come home. What do you think I'm doing?
So it's mad insecurities.
Yeah, definitely insecurities. That was what had me like, yeah, this is probably not gonna work while I was still pregnant. And then after I had the baby, it was this whole, oh, you don't give me any attention. Bro, I literally have to tend to somebody that cries every 5 minutes. How much attention do you want? You know what I'm saying? Like, what am I supposed to ignore her crying and be like, oh, you want me to make you a sandwich? Like, no. Like, you feel me? My baby is crying. I'm going to worry about my baby. So then that was the problem. And then things escalated from going to arguing verbally to every now and then, you feel me? It get a little physical. And honestly, like, I had a C-section. Not saying that I'm with the domestic violence. I'm not with that. But I'm really not going to worry about nothing physical when I'm not even supposed to be doing anything physical. Like, that's crazy. Like, so I had to go. And then afterwards, you know, once I left, we tried to co-parent, but he was on some bullshit because he was just mad because I left. But I'm like, yo, put yourself in my shoes. You have like I don't even know how big the incision is. The whole inside of your stomach just got cut in half. And niggas keep acting like they want to shoot it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, why would you stay for that? You know what I'm saying? And yeah, like, it even got crazy to one point. I'm holding the baby, and he's provoking me while I'm holding the baby, and I'm like, yo, you about to make me, this is what I went back to, somebody gonna go to jail. Because you about to make me do something crazy in here. Like, don't try to start that shit with me while I'm holding my fucking newborn. Like, it's a newborn. Like, and then, yeah, so even after the baby, when I left, I felt like he was really bitter that I left, and he was just on a type time, like, mind you, when you have a C-section, you cannot go back to work for a certain amount of time. So I'm needing help, like a lot of help, damn near everything I needed help with. And he was just like kind of being childish, like, oh, you want me to buy her some clothes? I'll buy her some clothes, but they're staying at my house. Bro, how often do you get the kid? Why does that? You have her what? A weekend here and there? How does you buying hella clothes for a weekend here and there benefit me if she lives with me every day? So then that stuff started happening, and I got to the point where it's though like, fuck you, I'm just not going to ask you for shit. You don't have to do nothing. And then, you know, a lot of stuff transpired in between them times. But like now, as long as I don't give him too much rap to the point where though he's confused, like, oh, does she like me? We're good. Like,
I understand.
But if I interact too much to the point where he like, oh, I might got a chance. That's when it starts getting a little crazy. And then when it gets crazy like that, I get to the point where it's like, if you gonna help me more, if you feel like I like you, just don't. Because why is it based off of that? It's not even about me. You're not helping me by buying her clothes. You're helping her. You're not putting anything in my pocket. You're helping your kid. So why does it matter if I'm fucking with you or not? How much you do? And that right there just got me like, yeah, I'm not gonna say I'm cool on co-parenting because that's always the goal. But that right there has me like.
So you're saying technically you could do the co-parenting, just you can't do the co-parenting when it comes to dealing with him wanting to be in the relationship with you, because you're done with the relationship. It's just done. Like, look, we can go on a picnic, we can go to the movies together as a family, but once that part of the adventure and that activity is over, it's back to, look, you go to your place, I go to my corner, but when it's time to get together for our kid, we see each other. Yeah,
like, I tried the being cool role. After, once we got past all that bullshit that I was talking about, crazy bullshit that I was talking about, and we was having, like, regular beefs. Like, regular beefs, you know. Like, can you pick her up? No. Why? Like, that's regular beef. But once we got to that point, we was at a point where we was cool. Like, okay, like, we all be in the same area. Like, where I live at, this is where all of our friends is within the same area. So it'll be times where we'll end up at the same bar, and he'll be cool. Like, he'll walk up to me, pay for my drinks and all that. But then I'll realize, like, after he's paying for my drinks, he like...
There's a motive behind it.
So you trying? No, like, I'm not. And then when I decline that, now I don't hear from you from 2-3 weeks. Now I'm like, can you get her? And then it's like, I'm busy. But had I had engaged in that, I'm pretty sure if I say, can you get her, it's going to be straight, yeah. So that right there, like, the fact that it's conditional got me cool on it. Because it should never be conditional when it comes to your kid.
So what would you say you would have done different going into when you guys broken up? What would you have done different if you could? Or starting from today on?
From when we broke up, what I would have did differently was... Well, this is not really in my control, but pregnant and even after having a baby, you're still very emotional. So a lot of stuff I probably wouldn't have reacted to, and maybe it wouldn't have got as far as it did. But when you just have a baby, you like full of emotions. You can't always control how you're going to react. You try your best. You know, you got postpartum kicking, especially for the people who had the C-section, because you want to go back to work. You want to start getting your own money, and you can't. So you basically broke by default just because you had a kid.
That is true. And
then it stresses you out even more when the motherfucker you had a kid with is not trying to understand that and just help you. You get what I'm saying? So that makes it even more harder. But honestly, if I could have like kept my composure through a lot of more stuff and just like brush it off, I feel like things would have went smoother, because every action comes with a reaction, and then it's just a domino effect from there. So maybe if I could have like kept it together a little bit more, maybe I could have been the bigger person, like, we're not doing this. But, you know, due to all the emotions and hormones, I was reacting to everything. What you say, nigga? You feel me? Like, you feel me?
I feel like, exactly what you're saying. My parents always taught me this: if you see me as the problem, why don't you be the solution? That's what they always said.
And then I'm the one with the emotions, not him. So you would think somebody would be the person who should be the bigger person would be the bigger person, but it don't always go like that. Sometimes you got to be the bigger person, even if you feel like somebody else should be, even if they're older and all of that. Like, you.
So I got one thing that I have learned from reading over back into like slavery times and just really understanding how back then when the slave was married to another slave, his wife will end up being taken by the master, and he'll basically do his thing with her, breaking the family household. So as reading that, I was listening to some other people that are like activists, and they just understand a little bit more in detail of it. This one guy, he explained to me that technically when that happened, when the female back then was taken by the white master and that happened, it basically set up a trend for our generation for it's just like, look, we don't have to be together because it's already broken.
Right, we already used to that.
We are used to being broken.
The goal should be to stay together throughout the whole thing. The intent is you shouldn't even have a baby with somebody you don't want to spend the rest of your life with.
But as I was saying with all that, I was learning for the woman as time went on, y'all was reverse engineered. Before, y'all didn't even have the time to vote, but the black man was able to vote before the black woman.
Right.
But now as time started to progress, y'all was able to vote, get independence, and then also now y'all don't even need the man in the household to be the household.
Right.
So what I was learning is that the woman has been reverse engineered, but today's black man is still a slave because we are looking for old traditions.
Right.
Nowadays it's like the woman could be independent, and then it's like now that y'all have your own work, y'all don't need the money from us.
Right.
Y'all don't need us to get your hair done. Y'all can do it on your own.
Right.
Back in 2000, 1990, it was a guy paying for your hair, nails, and all that to get done because they just naturally paid us more.
But on the side note, this might be a little left, but on the side note, let me just, for example, my grandmother and my grandfather. My grandfather, I'm not gonna lie, that man's 75. He still drags to this day. Like, to this day. If he see an old lady and she looking nice, he gonna be in her face. Like the way they was programmed is if he's doing what he's supposed to do financially, you don't have a voice. Now everybody gotta have a voice. So you know what I'm saying? It's different. So whereas though, okay, we could be like, oh, our grandfather and our grandmother, they stayed together forever. But really ask yourself, everybody might not know the ins and outs of their relationships, but we didn't caught my grandfather in 4K, multiple occasions, dragging. So it's like, okay, now, you feel me? That's why y'all were able to run off in the sunset, because you didn't have no choice but to deal with certain things. And because he was doing what he was supposed to do financially, you dealt with that because that was how it was at one point. Man, take care of the house. You can't tell him nothing. But now everybody's supposed to be vocal. Everybody's supposed to have their own voice. Everybody's feelings are supposed to be valid, regardless of who's paying what. And that's one of the main differences in right now. Like, and then just like you said, now the ladies got their own money.
Yeah, they
so
got
we really don't got to go for nothing. Like,
you don't
you know
even
what I'm
have
saying?
to tolerate the bullshit.
We don't have to tolerate anything. We can go get it ourselves. So it's like it's quicker to break a home.
Yeah.
Now that everybody has a voice, everybody has their own opinion, women could go out and make more money than the man.
That is true.
You know what I'm saying?
In a whole bunch of different ways, too.
Several different ways.
So let me also ask you this. Do you feel like when guys say that women have a handicap in life, do you believe that is true?
Yes.
All right. Why would you say that it is true compared to the guy not having a handicap?
They have a handicap when it comes to certain aspects. Like, police-wise, they get in trouble. They're subject to, like, most likely, if a man gets locked up, nowadays, you know what I'm saying? He more likely to get beat by the police. He more likely to get the life sentence over something that ain't worth life. He's more likely to have his whole career and life ruined, or, you know, everything's going to change, rather than a woman. Like, even down to the domestic violence. Like, a girl, like, the parents could get into an altercation. The baby mother done hit the baby father first, but if she called the police, if she called the police and say he hit me first, they probably not even going no investigation. He's going straight to jail. You get what I'm saying? Or at least getting arrested. So
I feel that.
So in certain aspects, yes, but as far as women, like, people don't take us as serious. Like, it still hasn't been a woman president. For what? For what reason? Everybody was fucking with Hillary.
That is true.
But the
Trump
men
said one thing.
The men was not voting for her. They was like, ain't no woman about to be running us. Ain't no woman about to be telling us what to do. We don't trust a woman's judgment, but that's you feel me? That's how both of them are handicapped, but it just depends on what's more important to you. You know what I'm saying? How? But I definitely agree that you know, both sides got a little.
Judge. Well, I could say the way I felt, women do have a handicap, for where it's like y'all could get another man easily. All you gotta do is just say it's on, and a guy just going to put you on a pedestal instantly for that day, or if not that, for life, depending on the man. And it's like, the one thing I got tired of hearing was that a woman would be like, oh, you're not going to do this? Another man will.
But men can say the same thing,
Heck no. How many men do you hear say that? Because most men out here, I say, are more emotional than they are intelligent.
Man, what? You don't know how many, I'm not going to say relationships, I'm going to say situationships. You don't know how many I've been in, and I was like, I ain't doing that. And they was like, well,
another person
I can go find somebody that will.
But how often do you actually know for sure that they do? I know a woman does easier than a man. Because a man is always looking where to go give the money to the woman. For a woman, it's just like, look, I could just do it on my own, but then here comes that guy trying to do his thing, trying to make sure that he's putting me on that pedestal.
Right.
Because it's just like,
you're right.
You can literally go to the mall and be like,
that's the
who
good
tried
guys,
to go
though.
on a date?
That's the good guys, though. Every man ain't trying to put you on that pedestal.
That is true.
A lot of them just trying to take you to Pound Town. So, you know what I'm saying? You be then left your man like another man would, because on the first date, he mess around and did this, and that. But as soon as once he get up in there, now you ain't getting that no more. Now you want to spin back. You know what I'm saying? Now it's like, oh, I might deal with this, and that.
So, let me also ask you this question. For most women and most guys, they'll get in a relationship, and they'll start it off from first sight meeting. What do you think about people that become a baby mama and baby daddy off of, I just met you, and we took it there in the first month, and then they having a kid a month later?
Yeah, that's poor timing.
Poor timing. What do you think
feel me?
about the people that go into relationships like that and just have a kid, not having financials thought out or living situation, they just have a kid?
I'm not gonna lie, that was kind of me. Like I wasn't planning to have a kid.
Mm-hmm.
It just happened. You know, you have unprotected sex, you never know.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I thought my shit didn't work
Mm-hmm.
for real, cause
I understand, because I was told that the woman body is naturally built to kill the sperm that comes.
right. If they don't catch you at the perfect timing, every girl has that little time frame before and after the period where they could definitely get pregnant. Some people's time frame is longer than others. Some people's is the shortest. So, you know, but what the fuck did you ask me? I'm sorry.
I asked you for between a man and a woman when they have a kid in the beginning, like the first month of
jumping straight into it.
What do you feel about the whole situation of just like them starting, not having financial figured out, living figured out? Like, what do you think about for those type of people? And you said technically that was you.
Technically,
do you feel like you was put in, not saying it was a burden, but would you say that you was put in a tight space because it was just like you can only do things in certain times, and because like you can only do just what you could versus what you can?
Yeah, so I will say one thing. Once you find out as a woman, the man might not always feel it might not kick into them faster, but as a woman, it's something about them instincts. As soon as you find out you pregnant, it's grind time. You got to do whatever you got to do. And for me, that motivated me because I'm not going to say I was comfortable where I was at, but I wasn't tripping off of living with my mother till I got pregnant. You get what I'm saying? And I'm like, oh, I need this. I need that. I got to get this. I got to get that. It put the battery in my back to do more. Whereas though if I didn't get pregnant, I would probably still been comfortable. Well, not still, but I would have been comfortable for way longer in my situation.
I understand.
So it's like pros and cons to it, but some people can't figure that out. And if you're not one of them people, I know people may not admit it, but if you're one of them type of people that know when it's time to do what you got to do, you're going to do what you got to do, you know if you're that type of person or not. I knew I was that type of person. So I didn't panic as much. But everybody's not like that. And if you're not like that, then you should, like, when you find out, you might want to explore all your options. Because once you have the kid and you still can't figure it out, that's not just you suffering. That's a whole other person that didn't ask to be here, innocent, suffering. So it's like, you just got to know what type of person you is. And even if, you know what I'm saying, you knew the person for a while, you don't always know if they're that type of person. Because circumstances might be great, but they might be comfortable with that. You should never be comfortable, period. Even if you're the richest nigga in the world, you should never get, you should want to be richer than yourself. You should never get comfortable. Never. So you just gotta know what type of person you are, and when you put in that situation, whether you plan it or you don't plan it, you gotta know what to do based on the type of person you are. Don't stay up here and lie to yourself like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, if you know you ain't got it in you. That's just like the people who sign up to play a sport and they be like, yeah, I'm gonna be this and I'm gonna be that, but when it's time to practice and your legs burning and your chest hurt because the nigga done tackled you 40 times, but you still gotta get up and do them suicides, is you gonna do it or you gonna be like, shh, and have everybody else run? You feel me? Even before you have a kid, you put in situations like that. So you should know, like.
I understand. So I know for most people, some people said that they never did it all because they're very religious, so they would never wish anything like that. Would you say there was a time where you wished the worst for the other parent just because the situation that was put upon you and upon them? But then at the time, you had to take a time to actually reduce it to where you don't do that no more and wish the best for them. Would you say that time took a long time?
And let's get into it, because I got exact examples, and this episode is going to be juicy. So,
take a drink for this one.
Yeah, let me go ahead and take one, too. Let me go ahead and take one, too.
Going dark and light.
Because this one might go viral.
Mr. Mouth on Cam. Gotta get the side. Ugh.
So there was a point in time. I'm gonna talk about the times while I was pregnant. While I was pregnant.
You got 24 minutes.
All right. And PSA, y'all, I'm not bashing this nigga.
I'm
just
keeping
it a buck.
I know this is 100%
I'm
trying
keeping
to
it
give
a
people
buck.
an outlet.
I'm keeping it a buck. When I was pregnant, you know, anybody who dealt with a person who owns guns, you know, if they ain't right in the head, they just might do some crazy stuff with it. And it would be times where, you know, we would get in real heated arguments and the gun would come out. It wouldn't always be at me. It wouldn't always be on itself. But the fact that it came out is crazy.
The fact that it's even sitting in the middle of the conversation.
The fact that it's at this, that it's in the conversation with us is crazy. Like, you get what I'm saying? And after, like, once the time where it was though he had it pointed at himself, but it's like the circumstances of what we was even arguing about was like, you have no right to feel like that. I should feel like that. You know what I'm saying? And when he was like, I'ma do it, I was like, shit, you ain't dead yet. You feel me? Fucked up. But you get what I'm saying? That was when I was wishing he should have, like, go ahead, like, but then it's not fair to the baby that's in my belly. Or me either. You get what I'm saying?
I feel exactly what you're saying.
And him, not him either, because he need to see his kid. What, you know what I'm saying? And it's been other times around where he done something to me, you get what I'm saying? And I was like, shit, I'm trying to get him out of there. Or I wish, you feel me, X, Y, and Z would happen and I wouldn't have to worry about him. Like, I'm cool on that. And, like, after I got out my feelings, shit, it's even been times where I made police reports and was like, oh, yeah, this motherfucker's going to jail. But then I thought about it, like, that would ruin everything for him and any opportunity he would have to do right for her. And all of that.
You understand? So, I feel like there needed to be, like,
you got
a reciprocator in between y'all when talking, because it seemed like when you was speaking, he wasn't reciprocating. But you was reciprocating what he was saying, because you telling him, how do you feel like that? But it seemed like he's not giving you the valid answer back. It was just, he was saying anything to win your love over, if not win your love over, to get you on his side so he can be comfortable. To get me on his side, but then once I was on his side, it was almost like, are you trying to get me off your side? Like, you get what I'm saying? What is it now? I
you know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm here, I'm in it. And you know, we here, and why we even keep doing this, because like I said, even if it's not the same time, violence is violence, whether it's arguing, body language, physically touching somebody, you know, little subliminal stuff, like it don't need to happen, because anything can happen at any point in time. Yeah, we are people, we're supposed to have control of our emotions, but at any point in time, them emotions could take control over you.
That is true.
So people shouldn't even be doing that in the first place. But people are human. Everybody make mistakes. Not too long ago, I just let my emotions get the best of me. You know, it happens. It happens. But people is people. You just gotta find the right person. Like some people, you need a day to your night. That's my advice. If you're gonna have a kid with somebody, you need to have a kid with the day to your night, the sun to your moon. Y'all gotta go hand in hand. Like, y'all gotta go hand in hand. Y'all gotta cooperate perfectly. If you know you're one way, you need somebody that's this way. Unfortunately, that's how it works the best.
That's how
if you know they're this way, you know that they need somebody that's this way. If you don't meet that criteria, and you know this is not something you could work on and fix to the point where as though y'all are really a well-oiled machine, then you probably shouldn't have a kid with that person. You could be in a relationship with them, but once you have a kid, it takes everything to a whole different level. Honestly.
It is very true.
Honestly, it's beyond a relationship. It's a forever thing. Once you have a kid, literally forever.